Greetings everyone, I hope you're doing well on this beautiful day. It's Monday, Labor Day when I'm filming this. So this is going to be a fairly long video. I recommend you get a drink or a snack. I have a lot of books to talk about today with you, so let's just get into that. I do apologize if you hear my dog tip-tapping around on the floor. He has abandonment issues even when I walk out of the room, so he's probably going to be walking around for the majority of the video. I hope that is not too annoying. If it is really annoying, let me know in the comments and I will start locking him in a different room while I'm trying to film to see if that helps. I have this huge stack of books that I have read in manga during the month of August. So we're just going to talk about them all. I'm going to talk about the manga first, and then I'll talk about the books that I read. So if you're only here for the manga, you can just watch the beginning, and if you're only here for the books, you can skip to the end. So the first manga that I read in the month of August were volumes 8, 9, 10, and 11 of Record of Ragnarok. I caught up. So this is volume 8, volume 9, volume 10, and volume 11. Now, if you're not familiar with the series Record of Ragnarok, you're kind of missing out because I have no idea how long this series is going to last, but it is pretty much just a story about gods versus humans, because the gods have decided, and it's various gods from all different cultures, all different lifestyles, everything, and they are having like a Senate meeting with the gods, and they decide they're going to end humanity because it's just so terrible. It's not worth saving anymore. It's not worth putting any work into. So they vote to end the world and start over. And so the Valkyries fight to save the humanity because they love humanity. And they say, hey, if you'll let us do this one thing to prove that humankind deserves to live, then humankind won't die. Do you agree? They agreed, and it's pretty much called Ragnarok, and it's a battle royale, not battle royale, it's like a Colosseum tournament between gods and humans. And so they have their battle, and every manga is just parts of that battle and then a little bit of background happening at the same time for each of the historical figures, because the gods, you know, they have their own background story, and then the humans have backgrounds because they're actually pulled from history or like myth and legend. Some of them are actual people who lived, and some of them are just like stories that someone told about a character, and it's really, really fascinating. There's a little bit of history in this. I wouldn't consider all of it factual, but a lot of mythos, a lot of interesting conversations about gods and humanity. But other than that, it's pretty basic. You're not going to get like some high level philosophy in this. You're not going to get like some thought-provoking, interesting things, as much as I would love this to be a little bit more philosophical, especially with the Buddha. This is Buddha. I think that was the most interesting part, and I really, really enjoy that character. My husband's like, I think I'm in love with Buddha. It's kind of funny. He's a really cool character, but all the characters are really fun and interesting. I sometimes find myself rooting for the wrong side, but it's fun. It's just a fun time. It's a lot of gore, a lot of murder, a lot of malice, a lot of heartbreak. It's really interesting. I think it's getting better as it goes, so I do recommend this if you are interested in reading it. That series is really, really good, and I wish more people would read it. I don't see it at the bookstore as often as I would like to. We did find 4 new volumes, so we picked them up really quick. Next, I read 2 volumes of A Condition Called Love by Megumi Morino. 7 and 8 are the ones that I read. This is 7. It's got this really cute cover. I love Hotaru and Hananoe. They're so stinking precious. I'm in love with these characters. This is volume 8's cover. It's got her blow drying his hair, which is, they're always like a scene from that volume on the cover, and I love how clean and simple they are, but also very, very gorgeous with a little bit of color that's in them. This series is so, it means so much to me personally, and I can't really explain that for it to make sense, but I'll try. We've got Hananoe, who's the guy here. He has, especially at the beginning, a complex about him because he's had some really bad luck in his life. His family, they're great, like his mother and father are wonderful, but They kind of neglected him unintentionally. In what I've read so far, it seems unintentional for the majority of his youth, and so he has like a complex from that, and he wants to be loved and accepted so badly that he kind of just is toxic in his relationships and will just do whatever it takes. Oh, I just poked myself in the eye. That was great. He'll do whatever it takes to please his partner, and he'll change who he is, and he'll be really stalky and like creepy and weird. A lot of people get turned off by that when they first start reading this, but I promise you, if you keep reading, it gets better. It's like he starts to understand that that's not okay, and he starts to change because of Hotaru, the girl here. I love her too. I love them both so much. She is just a cute, sweet girl who seems really down to earth. She tells him, no, stop doing that toxic crap and be yourself. Like, quit doing that and do what makes you feel happy. Do what is good for you sometimes. It's okay to sacrifice things for the person you care about, but also you need to think about yourself, not just turn into just a machine that is there for your partner. And she has flaws too. Some of them are a little more complex, I think. I think that she has a lot of self-doubt because of some trauma that she incurred from past friends and past relationships with people, and that's kind of what I relate to. So I just really, really love both of these characters, and I just really appreciate the author here giving them such unique personalities and not just creating a hot guy who's perfect and then a girl who's a little shy or whatever. I'm obsessed with these two characters and their story, and I'm glad this is a fairly long series. I don't remember how many volumes it's going to be, but it is, I think, in the double digits. So I hope that you will give this a chance. And if you put it down because the guy was a red flag, a walking red flag, I understand. But I promise you it gets better, and he's changing, she's changing. It's just a beautiful love story, and I love the friendships in this. It's so cute. Next up, I read volume 7 of Otaku X Punk, or Crossplay Love Otaku X Punk. I can't really tell you much of what's happening in this series other than just the main plot point, because I don't want to spoil anything. It's kind of just shenanigan after shenanigan in this series, because we're following this guy and this other guy. One of them's kind of nerdy otaku, the other one's just kind of a punk bully guy, and they hate each other at school. But then the guy that's nerdy, he part-time cosplays at a maid cafe as a woman, and so no one knows that he's a woman except for maybe a family member, and he's very good at it. He loves that job. And so the bully guy comes to that cafe, falls in love with the girl, but doesn't have the courage to like flirt with her or talk to her like a normal human being. So he then dresses up like a girl to hit on that girl. And so the girls are in love with each other, the guys hate each other. There's all these friends who are obviously not straight. Like, I can't explain to you how kind of gay this is, and I love that. It's just all over the place. It's not like, oh yeah, guys like guys, girls like girls. It's not like obviously on the paper gay for you, but it's so gay coded. Like everybody has to be gay in this. I cannot explain that any further. And so if you want something that just has a lot of gay vibes and is silly, funny, has some romantic seriousness within it, I have no idea where it's gonna go. I have no idea how many volumes this is going to continue. They're all fairly thin, but I still feel like I get a good amount of content in this. It's very dense, but it's cute. I like the art. I think the characters are funny and interesting enough. I just really hope that this has a good ending. It doesn't have to be like perfectly wrapped in a bow, but I do hope that it's a happy ending, if that makes sense. So I'm really enjoying it. I just don't know where it's going, if that makes sense, because you think you know where it's going to end eventually, but it is kind of dragging along, I guess, if that makes sense. But I still do recommend it. It's really fun, and I hope that it kind of picks up pace soon. Next, I read volume 6 of Kimi ni Todoke. As you all know, if you're a shoujo fanatic, this is a super mega popular series. Everyone who's read it loves it, as far as I know. I've never heard anyone talk ill of it. It's a really long series, and I'm slowly collecting it. So I think this is the last one that I had on my shelves. I'll have to go check, but it's so good. I'm so sad I didn't pick it up till now because it was just so hard to find new copies, but I'm starting to find either really cheap used ones that are still in good condition, or I'm just buying them new from Crunchyroll because I'm getting good deals on them. It's just really cute. It's a wholesome romance between a shy girl who was bullied and then this guy who's just kind of chill, and then their friendship group, which is amazing. I absolutely think I love the friendship more than the little romance that's budding in this. It's kind of a slow burn, but it's so cute. The friends are great. I absolutely love everything about this series. It's precious, and the art's really cute, and it's iconic. It's just an iconic series. I recommend it to everyone. Next, I read volumes 9 and 10 of Cant Communicate. This series is becoming one of my favorites at the moment. This is volume 9. It's got her playing baseball, and this is volume 10. They're having like a sleepover. We are introduced to a new friend in this volume. You can see her in the corner, and it's very interesting. She's a what do they call it, the one where they have all the makeup on and they look really scary. It's like a style of fashion in Japan apparently, but it's very off-putting to people at their school. So she's trying to help that friend, and Tadano are trying to help that friend understand that it's okay that you want to be yourself, but also you're kind of scaring people with your makeup style. So it's okay to not put a ton of makeup on your face just to feel normal. But also she still does it. So I kind of like both messages there, because, you know, you shouldn't cover up who you are to make friends, but also you should do what makes you happy. So I kind of am iffy on, in between, I guess is more appropriate, on that message, but I still really love the friendships in this. Tadano is absolutely a gem of a character. I love him very much. Komi's cute, but I think he's my favorite character for sure, and they're just so fun to read about. I love this series so much. It's cute. It's really long, so I'm picking up the pace and collecting it. I'm trying to do like 2 at a time, and I have not been disappointed yet. It's always a good time, funny, sweet, has a little bit of romance in there, and I highly recommend this one if you're interested. Next up, I picked up one that I haven't read in a while, and that is volume 4 of Sasuki and Miano. This is by Sho Harusono. That's how you say their name? Sorry. Look at this cover. Isn't that beautiful? I absolutely am in love with the covers for this series. They're all like a beautiful work of art, and I love it. It's a really well designed cover, whoever the designer was for this, and of course the artist. But this series is just a BL that isn't super sexual. It's very accessible, so far I feel like it's pretty age appropriate. They do talk about like tops and bottoms, but it's like not super in depth, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's not really. It's meant for teen. I think that's appropriate, because I wouldn't be weird if I had a teenager and they were reading this. At least at the pace I'm reading it. I haven't gotten any further, so I don't know if it changes, but it's really good, and it's really cute and wholesome, and these guys obviously are in love with each other, and it's just really cute to see them discovering that feeling. And I don't know if they've ever been gay before, or if they're just starting to realize that they are. I don't know what their backstory is, but it's really cute, really sweet. I enjoy reading about them and their relationships and their friendships, and their love of BL manga together. So it's really cute, and I am enjoying this read. Next up, I read volume 8 of A Sign of Affection by Sumori Shita. This series is, of course, a fan favorite right now. Everyone's reading it that loves shoujo and josei manga. It's really, really nice. It's just, if you want to feel good about a romance that you're reading and not really have to focus on like a dark plot, this is a great one to read. It's super fluffy, super soft and sweet. Our main character, she is deaf, and so she speaks using sign language, and this guy here, he is really interested in learning new languages, so he learns sign language to speak to her, and they of course fall in love. And it's just so wholesome. It's so good. I absolutely am in love with both of them. I think I like the guy more just because he has more interesting backgrounds in my opinion, but I think that she is a fantastically fleshed out character as well. Also, there's a guy in the background who likes her, so there's almost a little bit of a love triangle trope going on there. I know some people aren't into that, but I love it. But she doesn't seem interested in that guy as much, so I'm not worried about it. And he wasn't even in this volume, so interesting. But it's so good. It's cute. They've taken their relationship to the next level in this volume. Some really serious stuff has happened in here. Not like adult, but still some really serious subject matter. So I really love this volume. It was good. And the last volume of manga that I read this month is volume 2 of How I Met My Soulmate by Anna Sheen. This is the same creator as Waiting for Spring, if you're not familiar with this creator. I've just gotten some volumes of that, so I'm excited to finish that series as well. But this is a really nice large Kodansha print, and I'm excited that they did it that way because the artwork is pretty and the covers are stunning with all of the ombre colorful. They're gonna look really nice on shelves whenever this is completed. But pretty much this is just a cute story about a girl who wants to find her soulmate. She's tired of messing around and she just kind of wants to move on with her life and be serious about relationships. And so this other guy, not the one on the cover here, he says, okay, well, I'll help you find your soulmate because you helped me when I was drunk or whatever. And so she starts to kind of fall for him, but then there's also this other guy that she's falling for. So it's like, who does she really like? That gets resolved in this volume, so it's not a really long if. I know some people hate that trope, but I was really impressed with the way that the creator decided to say pretty quickly, no, I'm not messing with this other guy, I'm going for the first guy. And I love that. I was like, wow, that's really refreshing. I really appreciated that they didn't drag on for 7 or 8 volumes before getting us to the real guy that she's interested in. I think that that's going to lead to some very interesting plot point. It's really interesting, and I remember when I was reading this volume, I was telling my husband, man, this really makes me realize how messed up the American medical healthcare system is. Because she goes to the dentist because this guy works at the dentist, and so she goes there because he recommends that she come see him at the dentist office because she has something wrong with her teeth. And she goes, and then she keeps going back, and she doesn't seem worried about the medical bills. And I would be like, ain't no way I could afford to go to the dentist over and over and over and over just to see the guy I like, because the bills would be astronomical. But anyways, I digress. It was just really cute. This is a great series and I'm really enjoying it so far. Alright guys, that was all of the manga that I read for the month of August. So if you were only here for that, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. And if you want to watch the last 2, which are just books, feel free to continue watching the video. Also, I want to do a quick shout out. Follow me on Instagram right here because I post a lot of bookish content, a lot of manga content, and of course some from my life. I like to keep it sort of personal, and I just really hope you guys will check that out as well. So the first book I read, this was the beginning of the month, so it's been a while. I hope I can remember enough to talk about it. This is The Center by Aisha Manazir Siddiqui. This printing quality of this book is phenomenal, by the way. I don't know if you can tell by looking at it. It just looks like a regular book on camera, but it's done by Gillian Flynn's printing company. I didn't know she had one, but it says Zando here in the corner, and it's like really heavy quality book. The dust jacket is really nice. The paper's really thick. It's just a really nicely printed book. I just wanted to say that. I've seen a lot of people talking crap about this book, talking crap about Gillian Flynn, and I don't understand the drama, but I'm just going to talk about the book here. So my camera cut off in that last video, so I've had to stop it and do this on a different day. I had a lot of things come up, but I was talking about The Center, and pretty much what I wanted to say about this was I really liked it. I think the writing was kind of flowery, and it took me a little while to get used to that. And it did kind of get a little more normal throughout the writing style as the book progressed, so it wasn't too flowery or too poetic to understand for me, because sometimes I do struggle with that when the language is not more advanced but like more flowery, I guess. But I was really intrigued with this novel the entire time I was reading it. You're following this lady who is kind of just over life. Like, she's got a lot going for her personally, and she has a good job translating media from this old language that's dying off into newer languages. And she likes it, but also she's so bored. Like, she's just so bored with relationships and family and life and jobs that she kind of just wants to succeed more in her career and do more. She meets this guy, they date, they have a relationship. He seems into it, but she's just kind of riding along, not really feeling it, but just doing it to do it. And he introduces her to the Center, which is a place that you go to learn a new language in like 10 days. They teach you a whole language fluently within 10 days of being there. And it's very mysterious, it's very secretive. You can get a huge fine, whatever, if you rat on this facility and what they do. You can only tell one person your entire life, and he tells her. because he cares about her so much. And then they break up, but she goes to the center and she wants to learn German first because she wants to translate German works. And then all these crazy things happen. It is very weird. I like weird books like Catherine House and Comfort Me with Apples, things like that. This to me feels very similar to those, and I just enjoyed it the whole time. I think this was a really fun book. The only thing I didn't like about it was at the end there's a part with she meets this girl at the center that becomes friends, and the girl's father and her do something that is so off character for this person who is our main character here, that it just took me out of the book. It just took me out of it because the whole book she's talking about feminist ideals, feminist thoughts and movements and things that women should do and things that men should stop doing and all these wonderful things that I really agreed with and enjoyed her perspective. But then she turns around and does something that is so anti-feminist, and I'm just like, what is the point? Like, I was trying to see the message that this creator was trying to give me, but it didn't hit. I'm sorry, it didn't hit for me. I didn't think there was actually a message being given. It was just a character going against her own personality. But I digress. I'm going to move on to the next book because I did like this, but I couldn't give it 5 stars because of that contradictory personality. The next book I read this month was The Ash Family. This is by Molly Decter, and I really like this book too. This was another I kind of just picked this up based off of 1 or 2 Instagram posts that I saw a year ago, and I finally just picked it up. It was super cheap, used library copy. I liked this a lot. It was a very slow burn cult story about this young girl who's about to go to college. She's not really feeling it. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. She's not really feeling college. Her mom drops her off. She's about to go get on a bus to go do this, do that. And she just meets this random guy who's a little older than her. And he's not very charming or convincing, but she like is drawn to him for some reason. And he convinces her to come to this cult, and doesn't call it that, of course. But they just live in these 3 buildings, and it's very dirty. They don't have soap. They have to make everything they eat and they use, and but they still go raid dumpsters in town, and they don't have like a religious aspect as much as a environmental kind of thing. So if you like cults but you're not into the like gross sexual religious aspect of a cult, this is probably the book for you. It is slow though. It's not going to turn into a crazy horror type of story. It is horrifying, some of the things that happen in here and that occur, and she falls into things that a normal person shouldn't. Like, it was very interesting to read a cult story from someone like this' point of view. It is fiction, but I love cult stories, fiction, nonfiction, documentary, whatever it is. It's so fun to me to read people falling into that lifestyle. And this did not disappoint me. I think I gave it 4 stars as well, just because there were some things that I didn't think made sense. The character was just a little too lackadaisical about falling into a cult. She didn't seem to really think about anything. Anytime something happened, there was really no thoughts in her brain going on. It just kind of, okay, you know, and it to me, I feel like even if you go against your better judgment, you still would have that thought going through your mind, and there really wasn't much of that in this. But it was still fun, and I do recommend it if you like cult stuff. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. I just wanted to finish those 2 books. I have a lot more books coming in the next month. It is already in September when I am posting this. I did get late behind because I got sick for like a week. And then I had a lot of stuff going on with our karate studio, so I do apologize for this being late, but thank you so much for watching. Please like and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!